Energy does not lie. And that gut feeling that we get oftentimes where we're put in a position where we're on edge or questionable about something is usually our warning signs. And just take the time right now to think about any time that you may have been entertaining the idea of a person, or probably even just gotten into a relationship that you knew for a fact that you shouldn't have been in. I guarantee that before you put yourself in that position, you saw tons and tons of warning signs. You've gotten those gut feelings, you've gotten those signals, but you just completely ignored them. But what happens is we try to go against our frequency and what our body puts out into the world for us to pay attention to. And this always almost ends, and like I said before, a disaster, or we end up somewhere hurt, or we end up somewhere, going through something because we ignored the warning signs. But there's two things that I know for sure that does not lie, and that's body language and that's energy. You can tell a lot by a person just based off the way that they present themselves. I'm sure some of y'all walked into a space before around unfamiliar people and you just got like a bad vibe, or the energy in the room just didn't align with your energy. That is your body's warning telling you that you do not need to be in there. There is something in that room that is not aligned with your frequency and what you have going on. So I say that to say that we got to start trusting our gut more. I know it may not necessarily be certain decisions that we want to make, or we may not understand what's going on at that very moment, but you have those feelings for a reason. And when I really think about it, each and every time that I've allowed myself to ignore those certain gut feelings, I've always paid the price in the long run, especially in relationships. But there's just certain things that you can't fake, and energy is one of them. Somebody could be lying out their tongue, they can be just pouring out a bunch of lies, but you may not know whether or not something is true. But if you feel that vibe, or if you feel their energy, then at that point, things will make a lot more sense to you because you can put the pieces together accordingly. And I really just want to emphasize the importance of expecting evil of no one until you see it. Because this is what I used to do a lot of time in my life is I used to meet people, and based on my patterns, based on certain things that I've experienced in my life, I will hold them to those same expectations and standards as what happened to me previously. And truth be told, you just never know what somebody is capable of. And if you continue to move on and build new relationships based off past experiences, it's kind of like self-sabotaging your future relationships in a way. So if I was to go out and meet somebody right now, let's say it's a romantic relationship, and I automatically assume that they're like my ex or they're like the last person, and I hold them to those same standards and expectations, I'm really just going to self-sabotage everything because I already have this negative viewpoint on, my past relationships. And I don't think the next person deserves to be held to those. They need a clean slate just like everyone else. So it really put me in that state of mind to really expect evil of no one until they show you something. But once somebody shows you their true colors and who they actually are, you need to remember this. Don't think about nothing else. Don't think about potential. Don't judge them based off their potential. Judge them based off exactly who they showed you they were. And until then, then just give them that actual chance. But you don't ever just want to jump into a relationship with this skewed viewpoint on what this person is or isn't capable of, because all you're going to do is self-sabotage everything that you guys have going on. And I've ruined so many good friendships and relationships this way, just going into new experiences, having trust issues based on things that people done to me in the past. But like I said before, you just don't know what somebody is capable of, and nobody deserves to be held to things that really they didn't have nothing to do with. If somebody has not hurt you, if they have not shown you any signs of disloyalty, if they've been real with you, then hold them to that. You don't need to go out of your way to try to figure out if a person is capable of doing something or not. Because a lot of the times, those gut feelings that we were talking about, or simply God himself will show you exactly what a person is and isn't capable of. And if you have not found out yet, you need to spend more time being present and living in the moment. Because what happens is we do meet people for a reason, and there's certain experiences and things that you can learn along the journey that are gonna make you a better person. But if you go into it already thinking that it's failed or it's gonna be end up the worst way, you're not going to allow yourself to fully flourish and enjoy that moment and be present with whatever is going on around you. But if somebody is showing you signs of bad energy, you need to believe it. And one thing that I always pay very close attention to is how a person treats someone that they don't know. Think, for example, a homeless person or just the less fortunate. If you're around somebody or if you're with somebody who may just brush them off or they don't really have any form of sympathy for the next person who may be doing bad in life, then that is a clear sign to me that that person is not in the right headspace. If they're not able to empathize and gain a sense of sympathy for those that are doing bad and having a rough life, then why would you even want to put yourself in a position to be around these type of people? And I really just want to speak on what will happen if you continuously allow yourself to be paired up with someone who doesn't match your energy. Just think of it like this, like a balance, like a seesaw, right? In order for this seesaw or this balance to stay equally balanced, somebody is going to have to give more in order to match that person's, let's just say, energy, right? So if you're with somebody that is super like draining, you are going to have to give more. And if you're giving more, it's going to be hard for you to be in this content, in this peaceful state of mind, because you're constantly being drained. So that's why I feel like it's very important to spend your time around people that not only match your frequency, but also have that good energy that you need to be around. And you could really tell, you could really feel energy. I remember when I was in high school, I met this person, and before this person, I just used to go through my life just kind of coasting. I never really understand the concept of what happiness was. But I met this person who was just like this ray of sunshine, I swear. And every time that I was around them, their energy and everything just really made me feel good. It gave me so much just positive energy, right? And then that's when I really realized that you have to be very selective with the people that you choose to be around. Just like if I was to go out and surround myself by a bunch of people who aren't doing what they need to do in life, it would probably be draining. It would probably be not necessarily the best feeling ever, because they're not pursuing or trying to reach a certain point like I'm trying. So just being around that type of energy wouldn't even feel good at all. But just pay close attention to all the signs, pay close attention to how a person true character is, because you don't really find out who somebody is until usually months and months and even years sometimes down the road. I see all them documentaries on Netflix where they speak about how, I married a monster and stuff like this is very true. It's because people have gotten so comfortable or so used to hiding who they actually are that you never really find out until years and years and years down the road when something comes up. And at this point, it's not up to you to play undercover inspector and try to dig deep and try to figure out things on your own, but really just put it in God's hands. If you feel unsettled or if you feel like something's off, then really just pray and ask Him to show you what you need to be seen. And I guarantee you, God will expose whatever it is that needs to be exposed, and you will see everything in clear sight. But you just have to have that trust and that faith. But you don't ever want to spoil your good energy by being around somebody who simply just doesn't match it. Even if that means that you have to be alone for a while. Even if that means that you have to remove yourself from your friends or whoever it is that you may be around in order to fully grow. This is just a sacrifice that you have to make. And this same concept applies to jobs, because I know plenty of y'all have been in a position where you may have just gotten bad energy or a bad vibe about a job and you feel like you shouldn't have necessarily worked there. And then months go by and you finally realize what, that gut feeling was actually telling you. But sometimes we all just have to find out for ourselves. Not everybody listen to that initial gut feeling. There's certain things that you have to do, sacrifices that you have to make. Yeah, I get it. But the easier it is for us to trust and follow our gut, I guarantee it'll keep us and it'll save us from a lot of different hardships and experiences in our life. So really just take the time to focus on energy today. Take the time to really understand what a person is and what a person isn't bringing to the table, and accept them for that. Don't judge anyone based off potential. Judge them based off exactly what they've shown you, nothing more and nothing less. If they haven't betrayed you, then they haven't betrayed you, and there's no need for you to sabotage what's going on. But if they have, then hold them accordingly so that you don't hurt yourself in the near future. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.